Hello students, let us see ammonia metabolism. Ammonia is constantly produced during metabolism of amino acid and other nitrogenous compounds. At physiological pH, ammonia exists as ammonium ions. Now let us see what are sources of ammonia and what is its utilization. The major sources of ammonia are: number one, it is catabolism of amino acid. So which amino acid synthesize will give ammonium? The important one is glutamine. When acted upon by glutaminase, it will liberate ammonia. Second one is transamination followed by deamination of amino acid with glutamate dehydrogenase will liberate ammonia. Third is amino acid acted upon by amino acid oxidase will liberate ammonia. Then dehydratase enzyme which acts on serine and threonine. The last one is glycine splits into NH3 and carbon dioxide. Then there occur the other second source of ammonia is catabolism of purine, pyrimidines, and deamination of other nitrogenous compounds. And third is it is produced by metabolism of bacteria in the intestine. So these are the sources of ammonia in the body. Ammonia is utilized for, first and foremost, it is converted into urea. Urea is a detoxified product of ammonia and is excreted in the urine. Second important function or utilization of ammonia is it is excreted as ammonium ion and it maintains acid-base balance. Number 3, it is required for synthesis of non-essential amino acid and purines and pyrimidines, other nitrogenous compounds. It is also required for synthesis of glutamine with the help of glutamine synthase, and it is required for synthesis of glutamate with the help of glutamate dehydrogenase. Despite regular formation of ammonia in the body, its concentration maintains between 15 to 45 microgram per dl. This is because body has an efficient system for transport of ammonia and then utilization for urea synthesis in the liver. And ammonia is never transported as such or free form. It is transported as amide group of glutamine and amino group of glutamate and alanine. So let us see the role of glutamine. How glutamine transports ammonia. Glutamine is the storage and transport form of ammonia. It is synthesized from glutamate. Glutamine is synthesized in the liver, brain and muscles. It is the main transport form of ammonia from brain. Glutamine easily diffuses in the tissues and thereby it can transport ammonia easily from the tissues. So let us see how glutamine is synthesized. Glutamine synthesis takes place with the help of enzyme glutamine synthase. In this reaction, ATP is converted into ADP and PI. That means a high energy phosphate group is required along with magnesium ions. This reaction, as it causes hydrolysis of phosphate group, is unidirectional. The role of glutamine synthase is to synthesize glutamine, which act as transporter of ammonium or ammonia as amide group, then transport of carbon skeleton and transporter of energy. Apart from this transporter of ammonia, carbon skeleton and energy to various tissues, glutamine synthase also play a role in formation of urea and maintaining the acid-base balance. The mechanism for this reaction is that glutamate attacks on the terminal phosphate group of ATP to form gamma phosphoryl glutamate, which when attacked by ammonia, it forms amide group and water molecule is released and inorganic phosphate is released. This is the mechanism. Now, once the glutamine is synthesized, this glutamine synthase is a mitochondrial enzyme. Glutamine is acted upon by glutaminase to convert it into glutamine with liberation of ammonia. This is also a mitochondrial enzyme. It is present in liver, kidney and intestine, whereas glutamine synthesis is predominantly present in liver, muscles and brain. So, what is the role of glutaminase? Glutaminase will convert glutamine into glutamate and ammonia. There are two isoenzymes of glutaminase. These are, one is hepatic type and second is renal type. Hepatic glutaminase rises when there is high intake of proteins or high protein diet. Renal glutaminase rises when there is acidosis, metabolic acidosis. So, function of hepatic glutaminase is formation of urea. It helps in formation of urea, whereas renal glutaminate helps to keep acid-base balance. Thus, the interconversion of glutamate to glutamine lead to, or action of glutamine synthase and glutaminase interconverts ammonia and glutamine, and it helps to transport it from various tissues, especially from muscles and brain to the liver and kidney. Second important transporter of this ammonia is amino group of glutamate. So we have seen in the transamination reaction, amino acid is converted into keto acid and alpha ketoglutarate is converted into glutamate carrying amino group This glutamate is transported through the blood to liver, where it is acted upon by glutamate dehydrogenase in mitochondria, and it will liberate alpha ketoglutarate and ammonium ion. So glutamate takes ammonia all over the body in the form of amino group, and it transports ammonia as amino group by transamination to liver, where it is deaminated and with the help of glutamate dehydrogenase, and then ammonia is liberated, which will enter into urea cycle. Third important amino acid which transports ammonia is alanine, and alanine is predominantly transporting ammonia from muscle, where glucose is converted into pyruvate and pyruvate is converted to alanine. This alanine brings amino group from glutamate, which is converted to alpha ketoglutarate. Alanine travels through blood and enters into liver. This alanine again undergo transamination to form pyruvate, and pyruvate is converted into glucose. So in this way, amino group of alanine carries ammonia in the form of, it has taken it from amino group of glutamate, and this amino group of alanine transfers this amino group in the liver, where with the help of alanine transaminase. So the three amino acids help in transport of ammonia are glutamine, its amide group, and amino group of glutamate and alanine transports ammonia for utilization as urea. Let us see about toxicity of ammonia. Ammonia is continuously produced in the body, and even the small level of rise in ammonia may be toxic to the brain. And these high level of ammonia lead to tremors, slurring of speech, blurring of vision, and if not treated properly, it can lead to coma and death. So when we call it as hyperammonemia is called as normal level of ammonia is 14 to 45 microgram per deciliter. Whenever there is rise in ammonia concentration more than 45 microgram per deciliter, then we call it as hyperammonemia. This hyperammonemia can be of two types. It can be genetic or it can be acquired. In case of genetic, there occur deficiency of enzymes of urea cycle, and this deficiency of enzyme of urea cycle leads to decreased formation of urea and increased ammonia in the blood. This condition occurs in early childhood, and it has features of hepatic coma along with mental retardation. Then acquired causes. Acquired causes of hyperammonemia are alcoholism and hepatitis. What happens in alcoholism and hepatitis? The hepatocytes are damaged, so that urea cycle is impaired, and thereby there occur increased accumulation of ammonia. So what are various causes or what are explanations of ammonia toxicity? Ammonia toxicity occur due to 5 causes. Number 1 is depletion of ATP. When ammonia accumulates, glutamate is converted into glutamine, and alpha ketoglutarate is converted into glutamate. So high level of ammonia shifts this reaction to the right, and more glutamine is formed, leading to depletion of alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate is an important intermediate in TCA cycle. As there is a depletion of alpha ketoglutarate, TCA cycle cannot work properly, and there occur depletion of ATP or depletion of energy in the neuron. Second cause, there occur edema of brain. Edema is due to ammonia and glutamine are osmotically active molecules. They drag water molecule along with it, and hence neuron swells, so there occur edema. Number 3 mechanism is changes in neurotransmitters. Increase in glutamine, there occur decrease in glutamate level. Decrease in glutamate level lead to decreased decarboxylation of glutamate, thereby decreased synthesis of gamma amino butyric acid. And in neuron, there occur antipode to take out glutamine outside the neuron cell. There occur entrance of tryptophan molecule. This tryptophan leads to increased serotonin synthesis. So, increase in glutamine, decrease in GABA, and increase in serotonin in the neurons, that is altered neurotransmitters in neurons, leads to the toxicity. The fourth mechanism is there occur alkalosis in brain, alkalosis in neuron, because there occur accumulation of NH4 plus ions, and this alkalosis also causes toxicity. And the fifth mechanism is there occur increased permeability to chloride and potassium ions in neurons. All these mechanisms lead to toxicity of neurons. So, if ammonia levels are very high, we need to trap this ammonia, and this ammonia is trapped by IV intravenous injections of sodium benzoate and phenyl-lactate. These compounds, sodium benzoate and phenyl-lactate, combines with glycine and glutamate respectively to form their water-soluble products, and these products are excreted in urine, thereby ammonia is taken out. The another mechanism, another treatment is lactulose is given. Lactulose is a synthetic disaccharide. It is seen that it decreases ammonia synthesis in by intestinal bacteria. Then sometimes if hyperammonia is not controlled as such, there can be requirement of hemodialysis also. Now coming to hepatic coma and its management. What is hepatic coma? Hepatic coma means there occur problem to the liver due to alkalosis or hepatitis. This leads to deranged hepatocytes. Deranged hepatocytes leads to decrease in improper urea synthesis, or urea cycle is not going on properly, thereby urea synthesis is decreased and ammonia synthesis is increased. As we know, ammonia is toxic to brain, it can cause coma, and hence the condition is called as hepatic coma. In this condition, there are problems with brain, symptoms of brain, as well as there are liver problems. So the liver problems are expressed or seen as hepatomegaly, that is enlargement of liver, or jaundice, or edema, or hemorrhages, bulging of abdomen, etc. And treatment of this condition is that it should be treated with, number one, the protein diet should be restricted because ammonia should be minimized. So protein diet is to be restricted. Number two, acid base balance is to be maintained. If there is infection in the intestine, it needs intestinal antibiotics to be given so that bacterial ammonia production should be minimal. And number four, hepatotoxic drugs should be avoided. Now coming to last portion of this video, how ammonia is excreted in various animals. During evolution, ammonia is excreted from various different types, and these organisms, different organisms, are termed according to their excretion of ammonia as ammoniotéric, then uricotéric and ureotéric. So ammoniotéric animals are aquatic animals. These aquatic animals pass ammonia to surrounding water. So ammonia is excreted in ammoniotéric animals. Examples are fish and aquatic animals. In uricotéric animals, ammonia is converted into uric acid. And examples are birds and reptiles. And in ureotéric animals, ammonia is converted into urea and urea is excreted. So examples of ureotéric animals are man, all mammals including human beings.